Out of all of the participants of the 5-Star Grand Prix this year, I believe Azumi will get the most out of it. This tournament is going to mean much more for her than anyone else, even the winner. Even though she won't be getting a lot of wins, or points for that matter, I still believe that she will come out of this tournament better off than before. Here's why. Singles experience. Azumi has had a pretty awesome career so far if you think about it, constantly getting to wrestle people much older and better than her entire career. The problem is that she always plays second fiddle to the real stars of the match. Azumi never gets to really be in the spotlight. Her singles matches are against the young girls or rookies more often than not. When she isn't in a singles match, she is usually helping out one of her higher on the card Queen's Quest members that are currently in some kind of storyline. It's rarely ever Azumi vs so-and-so. That's why this is one of the reasons she is going to be getting more out of this tournament than most. When you really look at Stardom, you notice that singles competition is the best way to get ahead. The tag and triple belts are nowhere near as prestigious as the singles belts. There is no established tag division, so holding them doesn't really feel like you're the best out of the tag teams, but just the current holders until the next two come along. More often than not, the main event of any particular show is a singles belt. Sometimes the tag belts main event the show, but it's rare, and doesn't compare to a long, slow build war over one of the top two belts. This tournament will help Azumi gain the experience she needs in having a singles match and not being able to rely on anyone but herself to make a good match. Showing her skills. The curse of Azumi is her young age. If she was even 2 years older, she would be in the top card. It's hard to deny that she has the ability and drive to be a top wrestler. For about a year or two, she has only had one obstacle. The sad thing is that it's not even something that she can overcome by work. It purely will take time. With her young age, she doesn't get to wrestle the more talented wrestlers very often, most of the time being delegated to taking on the other team's young member or rookie. While she is talented, there is only so much you can show off when your opponents aren't good enough to take a lot of your moves. This is how this tournament is so important. Look at the bracket she is in. There is only arguably 1 or 2 not super great wrestlers in there. Azumi has about 6 to 8 chances to show off what she is truly capable of. Looking at her matches so far, you can tell just how amazing she truly is. Her match with Mayu was incredibly smooth and fluid, looking like 2 veterans in the ring because there were 2 veterans in the ring. Her match against Momo Watanabe was so brutal I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Azumi made every bump and move look as intense as possible. Her match against Tam Nakano was just so fun to watch, 2 incredibly talented people in the ring letting loose. With the faster paced matches because of the time limit, this tournament also highlights Azumi's strong points very well. She's able to go from move to move in a really nice way, allowing for the flow of the match to be interesting. While we really don't know if Azumi has the ability to hold a long, slow burn match that usually main events, with this tournament we see that she at least can hold out for 15-minute time limits. Raising position. The hierarchy in Stardom is pretty clear to those that watch closely. Some people like Saki won't ever probably be on top, but people like Momo seem destined to be there. Azumi for a while has been in a gray area. Is she in the low card or the low mid card? Her abilities and talent would put her much higher, but we all know that that isn't the only thing to determine your position in wrestling. Every single person in her block are above her in terms of placement on the card. Why is this a good thing though? Well, I'm a firm believer that losing a match isn't important. It's how you lose the match that matters. For a long time, I have used Jungle Kyona as the perfect example of this philosophy. Someone who loses, but comes out looking better. This is how Azumi will come out of this tournament looking like she raced positions, even if she didn't. With each loss, she can do it in a way that makes her look awesome. Look at how much of a monster she appeared to be while she was getting destroyed by Momo. Azumi looked incredibly strong. Look how fast and agile she looked while she was being compared up to Mayu when she was losing. Just because you lose doesn't mean there isn't anything to gain from that match. Your skills can shine through as long as you will it to. What if she wins though? Wouldn't that be even better? Well, yeah, obviously. That's also the main point of this category. With each win, she now has proof that she can beat that person. Going into this tournament, the highest level of opponent that she has beaten in a singles competition was Sumire. Now she has wins over Sumire and Hazuki in singles competition. It can't be denied that in some form, she has risen status. Distance from Starlight Kid. For the last couple years, there were two wrestlers who were always associated with each other. When you talk about one, you almost always eventually bring up the other. Starlight Kid and Azumi have been each other's saving graces through this tough time of being so talented but too young. For the most part, it's been a great thing. They help elevate each other to new levels and give each other something to do. Eternal rivals. The problem arises when you look at the total picture. Right now, Azumi seems to be in a tough spot because of Starlight Kid being around graduating age. Starlight might be getting her push finally, while Azumi might still have at least another year before hers could start. With her being in this tournament, it's allowing people to see Azumi without being attached to the name Starlight. This will benefit both of them greatly, so they can stop being Azumi and Starlight Kid, but Azumi vs. Starlight Kid. No longer two halves of a whole, but two people butting heads for the rest of their careers. Like I said before, while their connection before has helped them, it's time to cut the cord and allow Azumi to show that she doesn't need someone to lean on. Azumi has shown that in this tournament so far. Getting fans. If there is something most of us can agree on, it's that Azumi isn't very good at the gaining fandom side of wrestling. She has gotten miles better lately, but for a long time she wasn't exactly doing herself any favors. It's one of the reasons her battles with Starlight Kid were so important. It gave her a platform to be seen by many people, as Starlight Kid is incredibly good at gaining support and followers. Since Kagetsu's secret not so secret plot to make Azumi more popular, Azumi has come out of her shell more. She has been allowing herself to not stand in her way and to gain more fans. The reason why this tournament is important for this is because this is Stardom's biggest tournament of the year. People who don't usually watch Stardom will be seeing clips or hear about these matches. The type of people who really love Azumi tend to be the type of fans who appreciate wrestling ability more often than anything else. This tournament will allow people to see this girl they have never heard of before and see just how talented she really is. This will draw them to her. On the flip side, Azumi's charisma should not be taken lightly either, as she is incredibly charismatic as well. Just not in the way that would typically draw people in. I'm of the opinion that her personality will work much better when she is older, but even now I know some people will gravitate towards it. With her being in the spotlight for each match, those precious minutes is what's going to get Azumi much more fans than she currently has. This also will allow Azumi to clearly be seen for basically the first time. Each of her 8 matches, she's going to be in the spotlight. No one else but her and her opponent. No Momo to steal the main role or Utami to steal the focus. Azumi will be in the ring alone, and nothing will stop people from finally seeing her and her talent. So there you have it. 5 reasons why I believe this tournament is more important for Azumi than it is for anyone else currently participating. Everyone else has their fan base, everyone else has gotten shot after shot at the main event. Azumi is the only one who hasn't had this opportunity before, really, in her entire career. The only one who is going to truly benefit from this tournament in the long run is Azumi. Sure, it can be argued that the winner of the tournament will be the one to benefit the most, but I think on a grander scale, this tournament will do wonders for Azumi as a wrestler and her career.